Fort Worth has always been the city where the West begins, and Dallas is the place where the East peters out. My great-grandmother was born here when there were not a lot of slaves. There were free blacks, Comanches, Mexicans, till the South took over for a while. 3 blocks that way is where I was born, in a hospital run by a colored surgeon. That's my high school, created as a colored school in 1882, but it was closed in 1973 when they integrated the schools and whites didn't want to have to go to the colored school. That was the Masonic Hall. It's been vacant for at least 15 years now. That's the old post office. It has marble floors, columns, brass tables, but it's vacant too. Down that way is the stockyards. There was a time Fort Worth had both packing plants, Swift and Armor. They were killing, I don't know how many thousands of cows a day, and they employed I'm not even sure. Now they run Longhorns down the street twice a day, 8 or 9 lazy cows, and the tourists gather and they love it. This is the old T&P building. There was a colored waiting room in there, and when they redid it, we made them keep the waiting room as a tribute to the railroad workers. This is the Santa Fe station. This is where the black business district was. These 2 streets, Calhoun, Jones, all the way down to the courthouse, were all black. Now I'm trying to think. Today the only piece of property downtown owned by blacks is the church. Yeah. That was integration, and that public art there is a tribute to those black businesses, and the rest is a parking lot. It is what it is. This is the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. They wouldn't print a picture of a black man in the paper unless he had killed or raped a white woman, so you can imagine my father's astonishment when I was hired as a reporter there. Across the street is the Fort Worth Club, where the muckety-mucks are. The difference between Dallas and Fort Worth has much better rich people. That's the police department. The police, well, they're better. Though we've had several incidents in the last few years that have ended up costing people's lives, costing the city millions of dollars. When a cop was drunk, there were 8 of them drinking, and one of them ended up killing this pregnant lady 2 blocks from her house. They tried to make it look like she was drinking or had a drug problem. She was going to the McDonald's. The cop had been drinking on West 7th Street and ran her over. That's the courthouse built where the old Fort Worth was when I was growing up. There were 2 major department stores there. There aren't any more, but Leonard Brothers was the largest department store west of the Mississippi. We used to come downtown every Saturday to go to the movie theater, the black movie theater, and we'd come downtown, play on the courthouse lawn, and Leonard Brothers had separate black and white restrooms, and the courthouse, of course, had separate water fountains and restrooms. That was justice in America, going back to slavery and Jim Crow. The poorest white person was the only thing they had going for them was they were better than any black person. And that's what we see happening again. People think something has been taken from them. Their country, not my country. Their country, not my country. Over here is another public art project. The Vaquero statue, the Latino cowboy, which almost didn't get up. They had accepted the design, but the artist added a gun, which the people on the committee said, yeah, the Vaquero was a cowboy, but he wasn't running around with a gun. So there was this big fight, but this is Texas. So they left the gun